Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Oh. Hello. Hello. I'll tell you a funny story real quick before people join. So Jessie likes to go upstairs and look out the window because she can see all of our backyard from the window. And I knew she was up there, but I thought she was sleeping. So I went out to the shed to get a piece of wood so I can drill some holes in the wood slices for Christmas time. Yes, I'm preparing. And Jessie started barking her face off like, someone is in my backyard. Oh my God. And then she realized it was me and was like, oh, it's just you. And it was so funny to see that on her face. Like, oh, it was not an intruder. It was just you. Well, I thought it was funny anyways. So today we're going to do these flowers here. There's 5. I chose 2 colors that are the same color, but like a different shade of the same color, or as close as I could get. You don't have to choose the same color. You can choose like a blue and a green or a pink and a yellow. It doesn't matter. You can choose whichever you'd like. In the sample pattern, I did 3 light ones and 2 dark. So I think I'll do the same thing today, but you all can choose what you'd like to do. So if you want to make them all one color, you can do that. If you want to like switch it up a little bit, that's fine as well. And we're going to be using a satin stitch / straight stitch because it's not going to have that like super smooth look. At least I don't think that they have a super smooth look like some of the satin stitches normally do. So yeah, I'll just get started. So I'm going to use this lighter color first, and we'll start on the big one. How did everyone do on yesterday's flowers up here? They are so pretty. I tried to repost everyone who's tagged me. And remember, I cannot repost in your stories. I cannot repost your stories and my stories unless you tag me. So even doing the hashtag, the Barmy Fox SAL, I don't get the option to then add to my story. You know, I would have to like screenshot and do that, but then you won't get a notification. So just a tip. Right. Okay. Because we're going to do these, and because we want all of them to be long, like the satin stitch, sometimes it's helpful if you take, you can use a different color or the same color. I'm just going to use red because I think you can see it a little bit better. And I'm just going to make some lines to know that I want them to kind of all not be parallel, but I want them to all kind of fan out like a fan. And I'll show you how to do this. So instead of having kind of 5 straight stitches completely straight, they're going to kind of go around the circle like a fan. So I've threaded my needle, left a little tail. You don't have to leave a tail. You can double it if you'd like. And then just a little tiny knot on the end. Jessie's eating her food now, of course, so I'm sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to go from the top. And down like that to make 1 stitch. Let me see if I can zoom, because yesterday some people said that they quite liked that. But, okay. Some people prefer it zoomed, some people like to see the whole view, so it's hard to accommodate everyone, guys. Then I'm going to go straight back up at the top, pull it through, and this one I'm not going to go down all the way. So I guess I could go down back through the same hole, but I'm going to kind of tuck it in here. So if you can see, it's not that much different. but it's gonna make it so that you can fit more stitches in the small area at the bottom, and then you can kind of fan out the ones at the top. So I'm gonna go back on the other side and do the same thing on the other side. Like this. So we've got one long one and then two that don't quite go down all the way. Yeah? Now I do my satin stitches and my petals a little bit differently every single time. So if you keep watching, you'll probably notice, oh, she did it a little bit differently that time. That's because I feel like there's no real kind of formula for it. So you don't have to do it one in the middle and then one on each time every time. You can do one in the middle and then fill that side of the leaf, then fill, or petal, and then fill the other side. Or you can start, well, I like to start in the middle every time because you get that nice like separation so that it's the same on each side. But you don't have to. Like I've always said it, like you do you. You figure out what's the best way for you to do it and do it that way. I'm just showing you how I do it. So this next one, like I said, I could do it here, but I think I'm going to tuck it a little bit so I can get just a couple more on each side. So I'm going to go not as far down. And then for this one, I'm going to go all the way down. Jessie, could you be any louder? Fucking hell. And there we go. One petal complete. What do we think? Yeah? Okay, so as I'm going along, I'll probably end up chatting about like the thread saver method or playing thread chicken, things like that, because, bless you, because I end up doing that in my own time, on my own. So this is how the back looks. You almost have that like leaf, almost like a fishbone leaf look to the back. But that is a lot of thread. So for the next one, I'll show you how to kind of save it a little bit, especially if you're at the end. What is the matter with you? Just give me like 20 minutes, all right? Just relax. Just relax. Right, so the next one, I'm going to do this one next. Oh, I got to do that. And then, hello. So notice I've gone from the bottom to the top with this one. That's fine too. And for this next one, I'm going to go from here to here, then from here to here. So from top to bottom and then bottom to top. And I'll show you on the back. It will save thread. The key to this one is to not pull too hard because there's only a couple strands of fabric, little bits of the weave of the fabric between each one. Yeah, so it looks exactly the same, but on the back, that's how much thread I've used. So instead of using all of that, it's just a little bit at the end. So if you're coming to the end of your thread and you think, oh, I've just got this one more petal to do, you could totally just do it this way. And then you can save a little bit. Normally I don't really mind about that. Like I'm not, you know, subconsciously every time I stitch thinking, oh, I'm wasting so much thread, because it doesn't really bother me that much. But when you have just a little bit left to go, and then you have to rethread your needle and make a little knot and do it for like just 2 more stitches, oh, it kills me. I'm always like, oh, like I couldn't have just finished that one. Like, why did I have to run out of thread with just a little bit left? So that's thread chicken. And if you win, it's like the best the best day ever. There we go. Another one done. So if you've got any questions about this, pop them down below. So like I said, it's kind of the satin stitch, but like a little bit, well, not different, I guess, just not as smooth as some people like to have it. I kind of think that when it's a little bit chunkier and a little bit, has a bit more texture to it, sometimes that's quite nice. But sometimes it calls for being really smooth. So I think you just have to see what kind of vibe you're going for and do that. Also, we're not going to do the centers of these today. We're just going to do the petals. We have a details day coming up. So after we do most of the flowers, we'll do a couple leaves in there as well. Then we'll have a details day, and then we'll fill in some of the details, like the middles of the flowers or these little French knot lines, things like that. So what do you think so far? How are you getting on? How are you doing? I think a lot of people have chosen to stitch at the same time, which is great, but that means that the chat is quiet in it. Hello, Sophie. Ellie or Eli? I'm guessing it's Ellie. She said she's watching this whilst I do some printing at work. Aw. Better than waiting for printing, isn't it? We have a printer at home, and even then... Oh, why is this one so fuzzy? Even then, sometimes I'm a bit like, ugh, waiting. Okay, I'm going to knot this because this one looks like it's... Ugh. I don't know what's happening here. Meg says, I'm eating dinner and watching. Fun. The other Meg says, watching you and stitching and watching Jane Eyre. You know what? That was on Netflix the other day, and well, I saw it on Netflix. And I thought, do you know what? I kind of want to watch that. Okay, Wimpress Embroidery. I can see your name in my face, or in my head, but I don't know how to pronounce it, and I don't want to say it wrong because people always say my name wrong, even though it's just Tori, so it's not that much, that's not that hard, but... So I always want to take time to learn people's names and say them properly. But she's watching this while doing her makeup. I cannot wait to see what it looks like because your makeup is always bomb. Louise says, I would like to say I'm stitching, but I keep running to the bathroom. Aw, babe. She is pregnant. And therefore probably still has the morning sickness. Ellie says this is very relaxing. Meg says that's the one I'm watching. I'm about to watch it after this, I think. I have to do some drilling for the wood slices later. And I think after that, I might sit down. Okay, so it's Neve, like Eve, with an N in front of it. Thank you so much for that, because, like I said, I don't know. I feel like you should take time to learn people's names right and how to say them. Like, don't just butcher them just because you think you should have a go. There's nothing wrong with saying, I don't know how to say your name. Can you please say it for me? I feel like that's the respectful thing to do. Dawn says, I'm not stitching today. I'm saving it up. I've got a 3-hour train journey tomorrow. Oh, dear. Where you going, Dawn? I obviously got a bit crazy with these leaves, or with these petals, I should say. Do notice that I do switch it up all the time. So like I said, there's no like set formula or like a specific way. Like no matter what way you do it, they all look the same in the end. So kind of do what makes you more comfortable. Oh, Dawn, how am I going to say that? Is that Knaresborough? Maybe? I probably said that completely terrible. Because I'm from Ohio, and we don't have the same spellings to some of our towns and cities as they do here in England. I am one to butcher a town or two. Like David said, we were going to Bicester. There's a little like outlet mall type thing there, like a shopping village, where they have like discount. It's like an outlet place, you know, discount clothes and stuff. And he wrote it down in a text message, and I said, "Oh, what are we going to Bicester for?" He goes, "Oh, it's that's not where we're going. We're going to Bicester." And I was like, "Oh, definitely not how it's spelled." Knaresborough, sort of. But you know what? You can just laugh at it, because Louise says, how many times do you change your mind on colors during stitching? I do about 638 times. Okay, so for these ones, these are the 2 colors I chose in the end. But I had all of these, and all of these. Because I knew I wanted purple, but then, yeah, it got out of control. So I ended up just putting all of the pinks away, because I thought, oh, I don't need those. And then these are the ones that were left. So you are not alone. You're not alone. Kim says, ha, I call it that too. Why did I make these so far apart? I'll tuck another one in there in a minute. Okay, so if you noticed, I just like tucked one in, but then you could totally see where it went down. So if you just take your needle, the sharp end or the dull end, doesn't matter, and you just kind of like go like this a little bit, like pet it, you can blend it all together. Mike says, I have not picked my colors for today. I still have not. Yeah, it's hard though, because like, normally I pick all the colors before I start a project. So every single color I'll know where it goes and like what I want to do for it and how many strands and kind of plan it all out. But with the Stitchalongs, I kind of like to just pick them as I go, because it's not really about the color, is it? Like, it's great to have something in the end, but for me, it's not really about the color. I'd rather focus on teaching you how to do it and answering questions or whatever. So I don't really mind about the colors so much. I say that, but then I did take about 15 minutes to pick today, so who am I kidding? Oh, Kim says she didn't finish yesterday's yet. That's all right. My mom said, oh, I need to get all my stuff ready for tomorrow, yesterday. And I said, well, we started today. She goes, yeah, I know, but I couldn't start today because I couldn't pick all my colors, and then I didn't know what fabric to pick, and then I couldn't start today. I said, all right, so you're going to have a lot of stitching to do tomorrow then. She does try, you know, my mom. So they're almost done with one flower. So I'm totally going to do the thread saver way because I've only got this much left, which is probably plenty, but oh, it's going to just make me mad. Louise said, oh, your mom joins in too. Is your mom crafty, and is that where you get it from? Okay, so the first one, yeah, my mom likes to give it a go. I'll say that. My mom is not crafty at all. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Mother, I'm sorry. But she likes to try, and you gotta give that to her. But when I made the kits and stuff, I made them with my mom in mind, thinking if she can do it, then definitely anybody else will be able to do it. Dawn says thread chicken, question. So yeah, so thread chicken is when you have just a little bit of thread left. I think I explained it before to you when you watched the other video. But you have just a little bit of thread left, and it's to see who will win, you or the thread. Stitches by Meg says, I think I'll have to split stitch these petals instead for my tote bag. The satin stitches might be a bit too long. Are you using the 8-inch hoop, or did you make it 6 inches? Like, did you make the pattern 8 inches or 6 inches? I won. With just that little bit left. So I will say on the back, a couple of people have asked how to finish the back. So normally I just do a knot, so like just make a loop and put it through the hole. But when I have 6 strands, sometimes it's easier to separate them. So 3 and 3. And then you can tie them in a double knot like your shoes without the loops, you know. 1, and then again. So yeah, Meg, you probably will have to make them satin stitches, or you can do a long and short stitch and fill them in that way. I mean split stitch, and then or a long and short stitch, not satin stitch. Louise says, it's so good she joins in and supports you. My mom thinks I'm an idiot for doing embroidery. My grandma loves that I do it, though, because she used to do it. Aw, that's a bit of a shame. I think do what you like to do, you know? Like, even though that my mom is not particularly amazing at some of the things that she tries, she will give it a go, which I think is good. So even like she has made Christmas cards before. She does all kinds of little stuff, lots of little crafty things. And sometimes they don't come out that great, but sometimes they come out really great. And I think it's just, you know, have a go and try. Like, what's the worst that can happen? It doesn't work, so try something else. Right, so I'm going to do maybe just one more. It's 25 minutes now, so I really don't want to, like, be waffling on forever. But yeah, I will do another one. I might change to the dark thread and do a dark one. Stitches by Meg says, oh, long and short stitch is a good idea. Definitely. Just try it for like maybe one petal, and if you don't like the look of it, then you can always switch it to something else, because then you've only done one, so it's like not like you've wasted a long time. It just depends if you like the texture of the split stitch or not, because some people don't like the texture, how it looks. I'll show you an example in a minute, because I just happen to have one right next to me for a bouquet hoop that I'm doing. Bouquet, whatever. Right, so this one is like the long satin stitch. These ones are all split stitch. And these ones are split stitch. So you can see it does give like a little texture to them, whereas the satin stitch is really, really smooth. So yeah, sneak peek. Dawn says, as long as you enjoy it while you're making it, it's all good. Exactly. I found that the things I don't like the most are the ones that I don't enjoy doing. And about halfway through, I think, why did I even say I'd do this? Because I don't like it. So what's the point? You know, I'm not enjoying it anymore. Louise says, exactly, just have fun with it. My grandma used to do it to decorate things around her house, like bed sheets and stuff. Yeah, so I found out after I started embroidering that my great-grandma Con also did embroidery, and she did a lot of like lace work and like crocheting and stuff like that. And she did all the pillowcases and embroidered all of the names and stuff. And I actually have some of them here in England with me, but I don't really want to use them because like it's like my grandma's stuff, you know? But we'll see. Maybe I will. Okay, let me move this so that you can see this one. Do you like it zoomed in? Or would you rather see all of it? Hello to people who have just joined. We're just doing some stitches. I think I will zoom out a little bit. I will say that when it's zoomed in, it tends to focus on my hands instead of the stitches sometimes. But if I do it quick enough, then it'll be okay, I think. I can see the camera like refocusing a little bit. I think the darker color is a little bit harder to see where the stitches are. Louise says, yeah, they're special. My grandma never did anything chunky like people do now, but she really likes it. I've been watching X on the Beach. Don't even talk to me about it. Who's that Oscar the Grouch who lives in the trash can? That's like literally me, but my trash is reality TV. So I've been watching X on the Beach and like the UK version, and there are so many northern people on there, and they're always like, why don't you like us? And like, me grandma's blah blah blah, and I'm always like, oh my god. It makes me laugh so much. But yeah, Louise, I know that you're not really northern, so. Speaking of trash TV, is anyone watching Love Island? Anyone? Just me? And I'll tell you why, because we work out at the commercials. So every commercial break, because we watch it live, every commercial break, we do like sit-ups and push-ups and like jumping jacks and things. Louise says, I didn't want to sound strange. I got you, babe. Like I said, you do you. Don't worry about what other people think. Who cares? Oops. So they do go quickly once you get a going. I thought there was a knot. There was a knot. Stitch is gonna stitch. So this is my partner is from Yorkshire, and we've been together for 8 years this July, and even now I struggle to understand him at times. Oh, it's so funny how accents worked, isn't it? We were, I hate talking about all of like my guilty pleasures, like X on the Beach, or because that's just drama. But it's easy to watch because you don't have to actually watch. Like I need to have shows that I don't have to watch. I can just listen to and it not be a big deal. So some things like I wanted to watch Chernobyl. I think it's on BBC, and it's meant to be really good, but I can't watch it because I obviously have to do my stitching. What in the world is that? Oh, okay. I put on a playlist on YouTube, and it's some lady speaking Japanese. Yeah, so like I really want to see it, but I have to watch it like one at nighttime because I heard that it was like quite a dark show. Sky Atlantic. Okay, good. Because we have it all recorded. But when you're stitching, like I have to watch what I'm stitching, you know? So I can't be watching the television the whole time. So like some shows I can't watch them whilst I'm doing work, which I probably work too much because I do it like most nights. So like trash TV is, I think Killing Eve is coming, the season 2 is coming out soon, isn't it? Or is it already out? I liked the first season, really wanted to watch the second season as well. But that was another one that I think for when I watched it, I was just like holding my embroidery in my hand and like not stitching at all and just like watching it like, oh my God, what is she gonna do? So everyone has said that Chernobyl's on Sky Atlantic is really good. It's so good. Dawn says it's great but horrific. Very intense to watch. I'll be catching the next one soon. Stitches by Mike says anything with subtitles is terrible for me stitching too. Yeah, like I can't. And like, what's the other one? There's one on Netflix, and it's about like drug lords in Mexico or something. And everyone says that's really good. Like, Bank Heist? No. Money Heist? No. I'll figure it out. But that one's got a lot of Spanish in it. And I'm okay at Spanish, but I can't be like translating entire conversations. So there's my second one finished. What do we think? Narcos? Maybe it's that one. I swear there's another one though. I'm gonna have to look it up because it's gonna like really drive me crazy. I did hear that Narcos was really good though. But it's like being cut. I'm looking it up now. like bank heist or money heist or something, or just say the same thing over and over and over. Money heist. I think that one's supposed to be good. It says 8 thieves take hostage and lock themselves in the Royal Mint of Spain as a criminal mastermind manipulates the police to carry out his plan. And it sounds so good. Like, it's totally, that's me. And the other one was definitely Narcos. But the subtitles, man, like, I love it at night, but I can't do my work and read the subtitles at the same time, you know? Got a little bit left. Maybe I'll do this one. Meg says, you need to watch A Discovery of Witches. It's so good. Where's that on? Where's that at? See, the problem with me is that my job is embroidery. So I do embroidery all day. So I sit on my bum and watch television or listen to podcasts or music or audiobooks literally all day. So what are you doing? Go hide your bone somewhere. Jessie does this thing where she takes her bone up and then whines for about 5 minutes because she wants to go hide it somewhere, but she doesn't actually hide it anywhere. Okay, so it's on Sky One. Kim says, oh, I love that series. It's so good. Okay, I'm going to have to look at that. So, like, any kind of, like, TV show or podcast or a book that I can listen to, that's my jam. Because, obviously, this is my job. So sitting down by yourself and just stitching with nothing on is, like, too quiet. Just go hide it somewhere. Go hide it somewhere. You all right? Just go. She's got it hanging out her mouth like a cigarette or a cigar. Louise says, I love hearing what people are watching because I can never choose. And Meg says, then you need to read the books. Ooh. After all that, she just left it in the middle of the room. She didn't even hide it. Jessie. Meg says they've just begun filming season 1. John says, I missed Dexter the first time around, so binge watching that. I liked Dexter. Any kind of, like, crime, criminal, killing, murder. That's a bit of me. Oh, I went astray. That is a split stitch. So when your threads get like this and they're all different lengths, don't even try threading your needle because it's not going to work. Chop them off all at the end. So they're all the same length. And I do threading the needle like this. So you take between your 2 fingers and you use this action. And put your ivory needle right over. And you push it right through. Easy peasy. Okay, I'm just about out of this thread and it's been 40 minutes. So I think I'm going to call it a day. So of course you have homework because I'm sure that you didn't get to finish all of them yet. If you did, I'll be impressed for sure. So your homework is to finish all 5 of the flowers. You can pick, will you stop licking yourself? It sounds rank. Stop. Finish the 5 flowers. You can choose 2 colors or 1 color. It's up to you. So yeah, you have done 8 flowers in 2 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got so far. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see what you choose. But remember, don't do the insides because we're doing those on a different day. So we can do all of them at once. Yeah? All right. I will see you guys tomorrow then. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Bye.